Should you just start small with the starter home or hold off and save for a forever home? Now, if you make the wrong call, it could cost you tens of thousands of dollars, but make the right one, it could be one of the smartest financial moves you ever make. So in this video, I'll break down for you the real world terms, what each options mean, the pros and cons of both, and how to figure out what's right for your situation. So let's start off with some quick definitions so we're all both on the same page. So what's a starter home? It's typically going to be a smaller, more affordable unit. Think of a 1 to 2 bedroom condo or a townhouse, or even a condo townhouse, often in emerging or more budget-friendly areas. This is your first step into the market, and so it's not going to be your dream home. In a forever home, you're going to have more space, a lot more features, and long-term location. Typically, you'll have 3+ bedrooms. It's going to be detached or semi, possibly with a backyard. And it's where you plan to raise your family or stay for the next 10 to 20+ years. And this really comes down to your goals and your budget. One's going to help you get in the game, while the other is a long-term lifestyle investment. So now let's talk about the upside of starting small, especially if you're a first-time buyer. First, you're going to have a lower entry point, so smaller down payment, lower monthly costs, and this allows you to buy sooner instead of waiting years to save, which is key, especially now when it's a buyer's market in the condo segment and there are plenty of condo options for you. Number two, you get to start building equity early. Even a modest property can appreciate over time while you're paying down your mortgage. And then you can use that equity later on to move up to your next property, which will be more in line with what you need at that point in time. The next point is you have easier mortgage approval. Lower price means less risk for lenders. And it's great if you're early in your career or you're self-employed. You get first-time buyer perks, such as land transfer tax rebates, lower CMHC premiums, and even more. Now, a lot of clients choose a starter not because it's perfect, but because it's what gets them in the market sooner. And in the GTA, that timing can make a huge difference. Now, of course, it's not all upside. There are some drawbacks. You're gonna have less space. It's gonna feel tight, especially if your lifestyle changes. Often, it's not gonna be in the ideal location, and this could mean longer commute times. You'll likely move again in the next 3 to 5 years, and so moving again would mean more transaction costs for legal, realtor fees, land transfer taxes. You're also gonna deal with possible market risk when you go to sell. So while it's cheaper upfront, it's not always cheaper in the long run. Now let's talk on the flip side, buying your forever home right away. You're gonna have a long-term stability because you get to settle in one spot, so you don't need to move again anytime soon. And that's great if you're starting a family or you want to plant roots in a certain community. The next benefit is lifestyle fit. You're gonna have more space, better layouts. You get to live now the way you want right from the beginning. Next, you get to avoid moving twice. One move means fewer fees, less stress, and less disruptions. And if you've got a solid income, a good down payment, and a clear vision, this route can absolutely make sense. But going big early also comes with its own challenges too. You're gonna have higher upfront costs for a bigger down payment, closing costs, and property taxes. And a larger mortgage means more financial pressure. And so you may need to compromise on the location in order to afford the size that you want. And if life throws a curveball at you, such as a career shift, job loss, family change, it's going to be harder to adapt to the situation. So a forever home can feel freeing, but only if you're financially and personally ready for the commitment. So how do you choose? Here's what I tell my clients. First, ask yourself, how stable is your income really? Can you comfortably handle a larger mortgage and still save each month? How long do you plan to stay? Is it going to be less than 5 years? Because the starter might make a lot more sense, as you won't be able to build enough equity in that short period of time. And what's your lifestyle now versus 5 years from now? Are kids on the way? Are you going to have remote work? Or are you traveling often and therefore you're not going to be spending as much time in the home that you'll be living in for most of the year? Now, sometimes a smart play is to start small and build equity, and then move up later on. Other times, skipping that step altogether makes more sense if the numbers and timing line up. So, What's your gut say, starter or forever? Let me know in the comments below. If you want help crunching the numbers or figuring out the best play in today's GTA market, book a one-on-one call meeting using the link below. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more real estate tips every week. I'm Vince, and I'll catch you on the next one. Have a good one, guys. Cheers.